This is the afternoon of the 5th of August, 2024. Came across this clip put up by Sharon Rondeau of the Post and Mail. Title: Obama-Harris and Natural-Born Citizenship for Dummies. Put up by Tom Arnold. This is probably one of the most important clips I'm going to be posting and have posted for a very long time. You need to listen. You need to pass it along to your like-minded friends. You need to send a copy to your worthless representatives and ask them when they're going to start the legal proceedings against Barack, against Kamala, against Nancy Pelosi, and anyone and everyone else. So have a listen. Just so you, the reader, won't accuse me of talking down to or patronizing you, please understand that this piece of writing has been researched seemingly to the point of nauseam and written by someone who also calls himself a dummy, i.e. me. Yes, it is true that I am not a constitutional scholar or lawyer. However, I am a law-abiding, tax-paying, everyday patriot U.S. citizen. And no matter what John G. Roberts Jr. and his colleagues on the High Court or justices on other courts around the country think, I do have quote-unquote standing. And what I'm about to tell you definitely is not frivolous. The judiciary must not evade or abandon its sworn responsibility to protect and uphold the law and Constitution. This essay of sorts concerns one of the most crucial and hotly debated subjects in our country today. Possibly forever, since nobody is doing much, if anything, to resolve it. Frankly, it is a unique matter which is extremely relevant and dangerous to our national security. So I ask rhetorically, I suppose, if the likes of Roberts would dare give anyone, including me, a fair hearing, or even take some time to read and consider the following thoughts. There appears to be 4 categories of U.S. citizens: birthright citizenship, family citizenship, naturalization, and citizenship by marriage. Each, of course, has its own definition and sublets, which can be viewed on various websites. I have found that the U.S. Government, Department of Homeland Security, Wikipedia.org, the U.S. Constitution, and the natural-born citizen sites are the most helpful. However, because of the complexity of the natural and numerous sites involved, I will not be referring to or describing any of the wording in them unless there is specific reason or need to do so. You will see where all this is leading when you read and make an impartial and reasonable assessment of what follows. Barack Hussein Obama, the 44th U.S. president. You know, if the founding fathers had a clue that we let a radical Muslim in the White House, they'd roll over in their graves. Is not, never, and was a natural-born citizen or required by Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5 of the Constitution to hold the office of president and or vice president. For once, it has been proven that he was born in the United States. Actually, it is entirely possible, too, that we do not even know his true name. You mean like Barry Soetoro? The alleged Hawaiian long-form birth certificate of Obama has been examined by multiple and independent forensic document experts, including law enforcement, and determined to be a forgery. Obama was found guilty by a citizen grand jury in Ocala, Florida in September 2013 of forgery, and an official document, the birth certificate, which he finally had produced and made known to the public, the voting public, which in turn resulted in election fraud. Obama was sentenced, an absentee, to 10 years imprisonment. It also should be noted that Obama was a citizen of and had divided allegiance to 3 separate countries: British, Kenya, Indonesia, and the United States of America. The British Act of 1948 says any offspring born to a British subject are themselves a British subject. That would apply to both Obama and, by the way, to Kamala, which you'll find about in a moment. Obama had a background of repeat delinquency and serious criminal conduct, which should have rendered him unsuitable for any government office. Forgery of the birth certificate alone disqualified him by law from becoming commander-in-chief. How about his Social Security card that belonged to someone that died in 1976? Huh? How about his military registration card, which is the only one that had 2 digits for the year 80? Because they couldn't find the 1980. They found a 2080, cut off the 2 and the O, turned it around backwards, and you got 80. Problem is, the little circle of the 8 was at the bottom. I mean, this couldn't be more obvious than it is. When elected in 2008, again in 2012, he promised to fundamentally change America. Look around to see what he and his comrades accomplished. Do you like what you see? His objective was and remains, the CIA has also the same objective, the establishment of a new world order with social economic class system, woke Marxist belief, and related behaviors, discriminatory and or racist qualities. The unconstitutional presidency of Obama set a predictable, lethal presidency for a republic and democracy. In my opinion, Obama stole the presidency and should be held accountable to the full extent of the law for violating of the high crimes of treason and or sedition. Otherwise, others who are complicit, even if only by silence, should also have to answer for the traitorous criminal activities. I said, folks, he needs to be taken to Guantanamo, needs to be tried, and if found guilty, he needs to be executed. Kamala D. Harris, Vice President under the 46th U.S. President Joe Biden and a Democratic Party nominee for the 2024 presidency, was born on American soil in Oakland, California on October 20, 1964. At the age of 12 in 1976, Kamala moved with her sister and her mother to Canada. After graduating from high school in Montreal, Quebec, Kamala returned to the United States in 1981 and began traveling to and living in various locations throughout the Midwest and East. Eventually, she ended up in Washington, D.C., where she obtained both a BA degree and a law degree from Howard University. She then became a prosecutor and the Attorney General of California, followed by a U.S. Senator from California, and as mentioned above, President Biden Vice President in 2021. It appears Kamala may fit the definition of anchor baby. Her mother, Shamila Goklan, came to the United States in 1957 on a student visa, where Kamala is a natural-born citizen, native-born citizen, and or anchor baby is a subject of differing opinions. Kamala was born in the British province of Madeira, India, in 1938. Wouldn't that make her a British subject? And again, the British Subject Act of 1948, wouldn't that make all of her offsprings British subjects as well? She came to the United States at age 19 in 1957, the eldest of 2 daughters. Kamala Harris was born in 1963 in Oakland, California. Also that year, in 1964, Goklan obtained a PhD at Berkeley. Her doctorate was in medical research, nutrition, and oncology. She and Kamala's father were married in 63 to 71. After which it appears Kamala remained a single woman, passing away in 2009. I can find nothing indicating she ever became a U.S. citizen. Donald J. Harris, Kamala's biological father, was born in Jamaica in August 1938 and raised there until he arrived in the United States in 1961 on a student visa and began attending the University of California, Berkeley on a scholarship. He obtained a PhD in economics in 1966 and also studied social equity. He was known by some as a Marxist scholar. In the meantime, Donald met Kamala's mother, Goklan, also a foreign student at Berkeley, and the two of them met in 1962 at a meeting where the establishment Kawaza as a holiday and the Black Panther Party were topics of discussion. They were married in 1963 and divorced in 1971. Donald J. Harris went on to work at Stanford University, where he became a professor emeritus and retired in 1998. According to Wikipedia.org, sometime prior to May 2015, Harris became a naturalized U.S. citizen. She became a naturalized U.S. citizen? Thing's a joke. I can't become president because I'm also a naturalized U.S. citizen. I mean, this is insane. In conclusion, Barack Hussein Obama was never qualified to be president of the United States. He was, for all intents and purposes, installed in the office by the unconstitutional and unlawful actions of a rogue government entity, the Central Intelligence Agency. Remember what Mike Pompeo said about the CIA? We lie, we cheat, and we steal, and we train others to do it. What he left out is we also kill. They most likely could not have done this without the collusion of the U.S. Supreme Court, notably Chief Justice John Roberts, Jr., the Democrat Party, notably Nancy Pelosi, who fraudulently signed off on the constitutionality of Obama nomination, the deep state, and the GOP, which looked the other way despite what they knew. I am not able to conclude my comments about Barack Obama without emphasizing the unconstitutional lawlessness and evil transformation of our country he has led and which the world awaits. In my opinion, it arguably is one, if not the greatest destructive and treasonous act in our country's history. Kamala Harris does not, in my view, fit the strict definition of natural-born American. She was naturalized, for Christ's sake. How could she be natural-born? Not only is her candidacy a constitutionality of the unconstitutional precedent set in 2008 and 12 by the election of the Manchurian candidate. I used to call him the Manchurian candidate in hundreds of videos that I posted about that floppy-eared, pock-faced, half-baked nigga who hates our country and way of life. But Kamala Harris is the epitome of incompetence and political corruption usually found only in third world countries. She will not address questions concerning natural-born citizenship because she does not want to have the matter publicly discussed or litigated. She is best portrayed as an anchor baby or not being a citizen at all. For the sake of our constitutional republic and democracy, I respectfully ask those named above and others like them to put an end to the precedent of allowing persons who are not natural-born citizens to hold the office of president and vice president. May God bless America and help we the people make her great again before it becomes too late. Folks, you need to send a copy to your worthless representatives and ask them when are they going to start prosecuting Barack and Kamala, Nancy Pelosi, and Justice Roberts. I'll attach the link. Look at it. Pass it along. And thanks for listening.